Virgo tribe, thank you so much for clicking on this video and hanging out with me today. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking to you about Virgo rising. So the rising sign is the sign that starts your first house in your birth chart. So it has everything to do with first. So your first impressions, how you first react to situations, your very first beginnings in your lifetime. Okay guys, so the best thing about Virgo rising is that you guys are always coming up with new and innovative ideas to improve your life. You're always a lot of Virgo risings tend to focus a lot on their lifestyle and on their overall routine that they have. So there's a lot of focus on just establishing a routine that works for you specifically. So every chapter that comes into your life, you have like really great analytical skills to understand what works and what does not work for you. And so there's going to be a sense of order that you live by. Now, I hate when I hear that Virgo risings are perfectionism and that they're always cleaning or like, you know, that they have everything neat, because that's not true. I literally meet so many Virgo risings that are a total mess and that are just always, they're just always late, always losing stuff. Like, that's not true. But there is a sense of order. So if you are not physically ordered, like if you're not putting things in order physically, in your mind, you have everything in order. I hope that makes sense. Like if you have a plan, you're not just thinking of point A, you're thinking of point B, of point C, you're all the way to point P, like, you know, have like this mental order. So you're always trying to improve, you know, mentally, you're giving good advice to people, analyzing information in order to advance or to, you know, just analyzing information in general and giving practical, useful advice. And at the end of the day, you just want things to add up. You just want things to work and to be. That's why this sign tends to get the label that they're always anxious. They're just always looking for something that's gonna go wrong. Have a lot of nervous tension, and because you are such a problem solver, you are prone to seeing the things that are gonna go wrong. Another thing I wanted to add is you guys are really knowledgeable about the things that you are interested in. So I know, you know, Virgo is a very smart and intellectual sign, but this doesn't necessarily mean that you know a lot about history and science. Like, you know, you could just be that person that knows a lot about whatever you're interested in. So, for example, if you are interested in like psychedelics, you will know a lot about psychedelics. You will know way more, like all the details, all the facts. So you do have a lot of knowledge on a lot of different subjects, which is really, really cool. So you're kind of like a little cute nerd who, you know, likes, you know, who just know a lot of information, maybe about comic books, about music, about science, about philosophy. Like, you are someone who is kind of like a nerd. Like, you just like to indulge in information. Rising sign also tells us how we come into this life. So the time that we were born, the very moment that we were born, and what the conditions were at the time of our birth. So born, you could have been a very planned baby. Like, you know, once people knew that you were coming, everything was planned to the T, and your birth went really, really well. Like, you know, everything went as planned. Or there could have been a lot of nervous energy or anxiety surrounding the day of your birth. So guys, let's talk about the fourth house. So your fourth, I can't talk. Oh my gosh, fourth house is in Sagittarius. So the fourth house, when you think about the fourth house has to do with your family, your home life growing. This is definitely the placement and the sign that wants to be free and not be limited by their home life. This is the backpacker, the nomad, the person that lives out of their suitcase. Like, this person really wants to just live freely. Like, they don't want any restrictions when it comes to their private home life. So you probably were someone who just really wanted to leave your home as soon as you could when you were a child. Home life, you could have felt like restricted, like you weren't able to fully express yourself, like there was some type of limitation in your home. So that's why you just wanted to break free. The role that we play in our family. So the first house is the role that we play in life. The fourth house is the role that we play in our family home. So for you guys, you have this the Sagittarius archetype as your role in your family. And what this means is that you were raised as someone who was meant to go really far and go do bigger things. So I know a lot of Virgo risings who knew from a very young age that they were, you know, going to go on and do bigger and better and great things. Because so you were known as, in your family, you were known as the person that was going to go on and do bigger, better, amazing, fabulous things. Something big, something great. So yeah, like maybe you were the family prodigy, or you know, everyone knew you were gonna go off to college. Maybe you were the first college college student in your family. Maybe you have like an amazing creative talent that everyone noticed, and you know, you knew that that was what you were gonna do in life. This was seen from your family, and it's a lot has to do with because you were always kind of escaping in somewhere else. So you could have, this means either physically or mentally. So physically, you could have always been like at your friend's house, at your cousin's house, like always somewhere else doing extracurricular activities. You know, if you were in clubs, if you were in soccer, whatever, like you were always somewhere else. You were not home. Or you could have just been that person that was always mentally somewhere else. So you just had a very expanded mind and came up with a lot of expansion ideas. So family is not about blood to you. So family is about who really actually supports you, who actually gives you love and cares for you on a genuine level. Like that is what family is to you. So you have a lot of friends that are like family. Like you create like family with your friends. So you could live with your friends for a long time. You could be traveling a lot with your friends. Again, that backpacker. You could be that person that's just going all around the world with your friends, or you make a lot of friends everywhere else and everyone's like family to you. Yeah, like you just want people in your life that are genuinely gonna support you and support your ventures. Like if somebody does not support your ventures, you don't want them in your life. You don't want that person. You don't consider that person family, even if they are your family. Now we're going to move on to the 7th house, and the 7th house, your 7th house is in Pisces. So Pisces, or the 7th house, is about our relationships. It's all about other people, how we influence us. Your 7th house is in Pisces. This means that you're going to attract a lot of Pisces-like people. So you're going to attract people that are Pisces sun, moon, rising. I attract a lot of Virgo risings. I'm a Pisces rising. You can attract people with heavy Neptune energy, because Neptune is the ruler of Pisces as well, or people that have a lot of 12th house planets. So yeah, these people are really creative, very spiritual people, compassionate people, people who are kind of always daydreaming, not very practical people. They're definitely more people who go with the flow. They might not really make rigid plans. They're kind of messy, like, you know, who literally live on another world. Early on, when you're younger and you have to go through like a couple of shitty relationships, you'll probably meet someone who is a compulsive liar, someone who is always kind of making up a certain reality of them, like someone who just wants empathy. These people because you want to help. You're Virgo, so Virgo love to help. That's what they do. You can be like that person that wants to save that other person, but the thing is that, of course, that always fails because that other person tends to drag us down. But your ideal Pisces partner is someone who is compassionate, someone who is very creative, free-flowing, you know, goes with the flow, able to be in the moment. And this is going to help you and teach you to also be in the moment, to also go with the flow, to let loose a little bit, to have faith. Okay, so let's now move on to the last house that we're going to talk about in this video, and that's the 10th house. Your 10th house is in Gemini. So the 10th house is all about our career, all about our reputation, how we build ourselves up in order to reach our empire, how we sustain our status, which ultimately becomes our reputation. So the thing with your career specifically is that you are going to be someone who wants to do a lot of different things greatly. So you want to be that person that's known to be really good at many different things. So someone who is like the jack of all trades in their career. So Gemini is all about that that archetype, the jack of all trades. It's about stimulation, it's about communication, diving from realm to realm, getting ideas from different areas. So for example, if you're like if you are an artist, and I say that because I know a lot of Virgo risings that are artists. So if you're an artist, you want to be that person, and you're coming out with your album or whatever, you want to be that person that writes your album, you want to be that person that draws the cover, you want to be that person that makes the music video. Like, you really want to. This is the type of people that can have two careers. This is the type of people that can jump from one career to another, like jumping from realm to realm. So I think the most important thing for Virgo rising is for your career is communication. Of course, communication is so important. You're going to be really, really good at communicating and storytelling. That is like the major thing. Career paths that can appeal to Virgo rising, Gemini, midheaven, 10th house is anything having to do with writing, journalism, poetry, rapping, someone having to do with marketing and advertisement, because that has to do with communicating. So throughout your life growing up, you could have felt like people didn't really give you the attention that you felt like you deserved. Like, people didn't think that you were as smart as you are, or people just really didn't give a lot of attention to whatever ideas you were giving. So you may feel like people don't take you seriously enough, or that people don't really listen to you, or hear you out. So yeah, you may feel like you always have to prove yourself. So especially when you're younger, you can have like this persona. Your 10th house is also your public image, so your role in the public, how you appear in the public. So for you, you don't want to seem like a boring person. You don't want to seem like someone who's not interesting. So sometimes you guys can like overdo your personality, but like, oh yeah, you could just try to look or appear to be just more exciting than you actually are. I think it's really important to look at the relationship with your father when we talk about your career path, because you guys tend to suffer a lot from creative blocks and not being able to fully express yourself, or not feeling confident enough in your creative endeavors. So I would choose, and a lot of times this has to do with your father figure. So your father could have also been someone who was blocked from their creative endeavors, or who just was someone who had a lot of anxiety, or was really shy, or just wasn't able to do the things that they wanted to do in life. So that kind of rubs off on you. I do think there's also a lot of pressure that your father can give you. So I don't know, there's like a sense of pressure and having to be perfect, or just having to be great all the time. Like, you can never make a mistake or anything like that. Like, anything you do is not enough. So yeah, this is definitely something to be aware of. I think that just to be aware of, and to really learn a little bit about like your relationship and how this affects you. So yeah, once you guys are able to be confident in your abilities, whoo, this is like one of the best things. Like, you guys are really, really gonna be good. I know Walt Disney has this placement, and he pretty much changed the world. Anything having to do with journalism, writing, speaking, creative like rapping. You guys are really good at rapping. Yeah, make sure that your story and the story that you're telling has substance. It can't just be you talking about stuff. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually have a point and an overall picture. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you learned something about Virgo rising. Please make sure you comment down below and subscribe for more. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you, guys.